So we're back for the 8th league of the day. We've been streaming for 14 and a half hours, and the wheel has spun us onto Painter. So a couple of things. So Painter is traditionally red, although there are other versions of it. There are blue Painter decks and white Painter decks, but traditionally, classic Painter is red. Let's go over the main thing. So you're trying to win with the combination of Painter Servant and Grindstone. So Painter Servant turns all cards into the same color. Grindstone mills your opponent, and then if the cards share a color, it mills them again and repeats until they don't have a color shared. But since Painter turns them all into the same color, they always share a color, so it mills them infinitely. So your job is to assemble those two cards. In order to do that, you've got Mox Opal, Lotus Petal to speed up, sometimes Chrome Mox. You've got Goblin Welder and Goblin Engineer, which can sacrifice an artifact that's in play to get an artifact back from the graveyard. And the Engineer tutors an artifact to the graveyard, and it can tutor either Grindstone or Painter Servant into the graveyard. So this can be used to protect your guys from removal, switch them in and out, etc. If one gets countered, you can weld it back into play, etc. And then some of the other things to talk about in the deck. We are an Urza Saga deck, of course, so there are some one-ofs to grab. Of course, the Saga can grab Grindstone, but it can also grab Shadow Spear, Soul Guide Lantern. And then because you are running Painter Servant, you can actually main deck blasts because you can name blue, and then all of your pyro and red blasts become live against every single card in their deck, including all of their permanents. This is part of the reason why you might be drawn to red. So like the main reasons to be drawn to red are for the welders and for the blasts, and the blasts are just good against blue decks anyway, regardless of whether you have Painter Servant in play. Naming blue is a little bit of a risk because it means that your opponent can pitch anything to Force of Will and Force of Negation, but that you just need to keep that in mind and play around it. Then there's a one of Ichor Wellspring, which if you have this and another artifact and a welder, you can just weld the Ichor Wellspring in and out for the other artifact and draw 2 cards every single time you weld the Wellspring. There's Fable the Mirror Breaker. One Simian Spirit Guide, that's just another fast mana card. Then there's a one of Ensnaring Bridge, which can sometimes lock up a game. And then there's Phyrexian Dragon Engine, which you can tutor to your graveyard with Goblin Engineer or discard to Fable, and then unearth or just weld back from your graveyard. The trigger doesn't care whether you unearthed it. It only cares that it entered from your graveyard. So you can weld this and draw 3, discard your hand and draw 3. And then we've got Karn the Great Creator, which shuts off opposing artifact decks, and it can also go find the 3rd copy of Grindstone or the 4th copy of Painter Servant, which are in your sideboard to finish the combo. Or it can just do stupid Karn things like Liquid Metal Coating your opponent out of the game, use Lattice to win the game on its own. And then the other picks we have for Karn here right now are Bridge, Ring, and Tormod's Crypt for Graveyard Hate. And then 2 Furies, which help deal with creatures, either just swarmy creatures or stacks creatures or whatever. Sometimes this deck plays Chaos Defiler, which is one of the cards from Warhammer. There's like various other cards you could play in this deck, but that is what this list is about. We've got Ancient Tomb and City of Traders to speed up. Great Furnace because it's an artifact, so it works with Opal, Urza Saga tokens, and can be welded by any of our welders. Then a bunch of Mountains and Soken'Zon. The rest of the sideboard has 3 Leyline of the Void for Graveyard Hate, then 3 Magus of the Moon, which is super awkward with Urza Saga, but sometimes you want it, like if you're playing against Depths or something. And then 2 more Furies, and then all of the Karn package. Warhammer cards are still not on Moto. Are they not? I think they are, or some of them maybe are, some of them maybe are not. Let's check. Chaos Defiler. Nope, it's not. So yeah. So even if we wanted to play Chaos Defiler, we can't on Moto. And then, yeah, there's other tricks you can do with Painter Servant. So like Snuff Out can't kill black creatures, so maybe you just name black, and then your opponent can't snuff out the Painter Servant. There's all kinds of like corner cases that you can do with Painter. Anyway, that is the rundown for Painter. So let's jump into the 8th league of the day, or the night. The welder trick. So you can also do a trick where you activate Grindstone, and then with the ability on the stack, you weld it for Painter, and then the Grindstone ability resolves, and your opponent dies. So let's see. We have a very slow Urza Saga. We've got a welder on turn 1, Pyroblast Fury. So this is not a quick combo kill hand, but it's a hand that has a decent amount of value. All right, I'll keep. All right, Yavimaya. So some kind of Depths deck, because I believe only the Depths decks play Yavimaya. Drew another Karn. All right, so land, welder, pass to them. Thespian Stage. Yep, there's the Depths combo. Sphere of Resistance. Well, ain't that a bitch. We do have Urza Saga to get around it. So Urza Saga, trigger. Yeah, I guess I just play Shadow Spear. Combat, attack with welder. I can weld their thing, right? I can only weld it if they have a artifact in their graveyard, though. Choose target artifact player controls and target artifact in that player's graveyard. If both are legal targets as this resolves, sack them both. Well, there's Merit Lage about to come out, so I guess we're just dead. I can do what? I can go Furnace, attach Shadow Spear here, attack, then they make Merit Lage block, and then I don't die in one hit, but then we're still going to lose to Sphere of Resistance. What can I grab with Saga? None of that helps. None of that helps. Drew Lotus Petal. That doesn't matter. So land. Buys you turn to top deck bridge. I can't top deck bridge if Sphere of Resistance in play. All right. Well, equip here. Go to combat. Swing. Makes the Lage. All right. Block. Welder dies. We're at 22. Play Lotus Petal for 1. Over to them. I guess, yeah, if we exactly draw Ensnaring Bridge, we can survive. Plays Wasteland. God freaking Jesus Christ. All right, now we can't. Now we're dead. Okay. Lands. So, Magus of the Moon. To what degree is this useful? It stops loam loops. What's just like straight up bad in this matchup? The blasts only matter if I already have Painter Servant in play. But if I do have a Painter Servant in play, then they're really good because I can shoot their lands. Depends on if they have Elvish Reclaimer. Shadow Spear removes Indestructible from Merit Lage, so you can maybe blast it. Or, again, just like out life gain it. Although, usually you can't. What else? Bridge main. So what am I cutting? If they're just straight up lands and they don't have Elvish Reclaimer, then Fury's bad. And Sphere of Resistance means they probably just don't have any creatures that these can hit. So I'm just going to cut the Furies. And that leaves 1 cut. I'm inclined to cut one of the blasts. Now, let's cut a blast. On play, let's see. So I have Saga into Ancient Tomb to make Constructs, and then Ensnaring Bridge if that fails. Of course, if they have Wasteland, this hand just completely falls apart. I don't have any red mana. All right, this hand gets got by Wasteland. It's turn 1 Saga, turn 2 Ancient Tomb, make a Construct, make another Construct, fetch a thing. I'll keep Saga and go. Seiju, Exploration, and they have the Wasteland. Yep, we lose the game now. Oh, Lotus Petal. Okay, so Ancient Tomb, Petal, Fable. Fable trigger, make a Shaman, then we get to loot away stuff we don't want. All right. Well, what a draw. We drew the red source. Urza Saga of their own. Tapped Tranquil Thicket. All right. Fable trigger. What am I discarding? Blast for sure. And then with this board state, maybe I just get rid of Bridge so I can weld it back later. All right. Let's get rid of those two. Well, we drew a Blast anyway. Man, that was horrible draws. All right. Combat. Attack with this. Make a treasure. Damage. And then let's just play another Fable. Trigger, make another Shaman. Play another Ancient Tomb. Pass. Saga goes to 2 counters. Another Saga. All right. Double Fable triggers. We're going to probably use just both of them. Oh, wait, no. One of them flips right. Duh. Use this one. Discard City and Blast. Actually, do I even want City at all? Probably not. Let's just discard both cities. Oh my god, we drew Urza Saga Ancient Tomb. Okay. They can make a 2-2. So let's go to combat, swing with the Shamans, make treasures, and then play Urza Saga, trigger, play Welder, sack this, then pass. And they make a Construct, untap, make a Construct, fetch something, Shadow Spear, whatever, who knows. Force of Vigor on Saga and Treasure Token. Okay, exiling Endurance. Crop Rotation, fetch Dark Depths. Crop Rotation. You've got to be kidding me. Why are you even bothering playing anything else, dude? Like, what's the point? Why? I think I may just quit Magic entirely. Pauper players, does your format have any of this bullshit in it? I know you have Oops All spells in Pauper. Alright, we're on the draw for round 2. This is fine. Keep Polluted Delta. Turn 1 Fable's pretty good. Obviously gets Dazed or Forced, but I think it's better to go for it. Oh my god. I guess I can wait a turn and Red Blast. Land, Petal. Is it better to cast Grindstone or Welder? Probably Welder, right? I don't know. I'm thinking about the sequence of the next things that happen, right? I go Fable, I go Ancient Tomb, Fable, and then I can discard Grindstone and have if I have Welder in play already and just weld it back. Although this literally wins on... No, it doesn't win on the spot if I draw Painter. All right, so let's just play Welder. If they try to kill this, I'm not going to blast it. Or I'm not going to blast a counterspell against this. Blue-White Affinity can be pretty BS, but Oops All Spells is the closest comparison. Basically, is there a bunch of free bullshit? Is there reanimating giant creatures on turn 1? Is there you just lose to 1 spell? Are there stacks cards that make you unable to play the game? That's what I want to know. Tundra. All right, so it's blue-white something or other. Brainstorm, sure. Underground Sea. All right, Ancient Tomb. Let's play Fable with Blast Bout. Fable the Mirror Breaker. Fable resolves. All right, I guess we attack with Welder because we're not doing anything with it. So combat, swing. Pawns is the only stack that exists. Pauper has almost no free spells worth playing, with the main exception being Snuff Out. Even the free creatures that exist, Frogmite, Mernforcer, take at least 2 turns to come down. So Esper? What is Esper? Stoneblade? No, oh, okay. Cephalid Breakfast. All right. Try to Red Blast it. And they have Force of Will. God damn. All right. Our opponents have just had everything at every opportunity. It's just nuts. All right. Leyline of the Void. Is Magus of the Moon good here? I mean, it's all right. Shadow Spear is completely irrelevant. They're just going to combo, or we're going to combo. Ensnaring Bridge, also irrelevant. Fury's kind of relevant if they play a thing and then don't immediately have the combo for it, but that's not always the case. I feel like I should cut some grindy things, so I'm thinking about Ichor Wellspring, Dragon Engine, Karn, or just one of the Furies. I'm going to cut a Fury. Turn 1 Engineer, turn 1 Welder, turn 2 Engineer, weld the Great Furnace into a thing. What do I get? I go turn 1 Welder, turn 2 Engineer, put a thing in the graveyard, weld it immediately into play. I'm still missing a piece though, right? I guess I could go hit Ichor Wellspring and then just start drawing. That seems decent. All right, I'll keep Great Furnace, Welder, over to them. The main issue with free spells is not having to hold up mana for interaction, and Snap doesn't have that issue even if it's mana neutral. So we're talking about Pauper. Ponder. The thing with free spells is like, okay, so other card games, either the cards literally don't cost anything, or you have like a set amount of currency that you get every turn, right? Magic specifically has this mana system to balance cards, and then they just make cards that don't have the mana system implemented. All right, Furnace, Engineer, and there's Force of Will. Force of Will, exiling Teferi. All right, combat attack with Welder. Polluted Delta. Draws another Engineer. All right, play another Engineer. They're going to Swords Welder with that on the stack, I guess. Free spells and Planeswalkers were the main thing that made me grow to hate Modern, even before it became the format of the One Ring. Brainstorm. Most annoying decks in Pauper are Fog Loops, Delta, Fetch, Tundra. Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, that was a long way to get to that point. So Engineer, at least I can still use this. So I don't want to put only one of 2 things in here. I guess I could get Soul Guide Lantern, which would be the best way of stopping them from winning. But man, it just leaves us in a position to not be able to do anything. I do have Pyroblast. All right, I'm going to put Ichor Wellspring in the graveyard and then pass to them. Urza Saga. Shuko. Engineer, this one. Sack Great Furnace. We just need to draw lands now. Trigger. Jesus. All right, Welder. Pass to them. They didn't have Cephalid last turn, so we've got to try to fade it. Delta, so now Saga tokens, Simian Spirit Guide. All right, Welder, this one and this one. Trigger, always yield to Ichor Wellspring. Drew another Engineer. I could play Fable and go Shields down here. We're just going to lose to the Saga tokens as well. I can't believe how poorly we're drawing as well. So let me see. Fable, I see more cards than Wellspring, although that's not necessarily even true. I could just get another Engineer and then... Now, all right, so let's just weld these again. All right, finally a land. So that being the case, let's Engineer. Trigger. So at this point, I probably should grab one part of the combo. What if I put Mox Opal in the graveyard and then weld Ichor Wellspring into... Well, I'm already going to weld Ichor Wellspring into the land, so that's not really relevant. So anything I grab, if they have Soul Guide Lantern in their deck, they're going to exile it. That's not actually that big of a problem. We always have Karn and more combo pieces, so let's put Painter in the yard. All right, over to them. And if I absolutely have to, I can exile the Spirit Guide to Pyroblast something, but the Constructs alone are going to be the issue here. Fetch, Island, make another Construct, another Shuko. They're just going to like maximize the amount of damage they can get in? Sure. Double Shuko, swing for 6. We're not going to block. We're at 15. City of Traders. All right, weld the Ichor Wellspring and the land. Draw a card. All right, cast Lotus Petal. I'm one short of being able to Karn for Bridge. I can also just weld out Painter and then blast this one. Or I can actually, I can Karn for the Ring. I can play 2 Fable the Mirror Breakers right now. That seems pretty good. 2 Fable the Mirror Breakers is what? The maximum, or I can play Karn and I can just go fetch Grindstone and then try to win next turn. So City of Traders, play Karn. Minus Karn. Use the ability, grab Grindstone, and play Grindstone. But we just have the win next turn, so we'll just pass here. Underground Sea. Nomad's Encore. Sure. Cephalid Illusion. All right. Sack for red. Pyroblast. Counter this. Flusterstorm. You gotta be joking. And I can pay for 1 with Spirit Guide, but not 2. All right. Round 3. On the draw for round 3. No red source in the opening hand. Mull. Lots of here you were having fun while playing Magic, so I had to put a stop to those matchups. I thought maybe the bullshit had been confined to just Modern and Pioneer, but I now see that it's kind of everywhere. All right, Mulligan. This hand maybe can work off of Urza Saga, so I'll keep. And throw away one of the two Ancient Tombs. All right, Polluted Delta, Bulk. Well, we're playing against Delver, so again, if they have Wasteland, we just probably immediately lose the game. Saga, Grindstone. So by the way, where is it? Other products. I am down to 19 ticks and 40 chests, and if I run out, I run out. Streams are over. I guess I should ask... Oh, well, there's Wasteland. All right, we lose. They Wasteland our Saga, and then we have Jack going on in this hand. Oh, they also have Delirium, too. Cool. All right. There goes Saga. They pop the Bauble. Why are they not just popping Bauble right now? They would have Delirium if they popped the Bauble. All right, they're just not doing it. No idea why. Well, there's Painter Servant. So, do I just run out Painter, and then... I just assume they don't have Daze. I could wait and then blast, but... All right. Painter Servant. I also have Welder. Daze. All right. It's so funny that they unbanned a super powerful and scary banned card, and the deck it's played in is one of the worst in the format. What are you referring to? Are you saying Preordain or Mind's Desire? Why didn't they just pop Bauble last turn to get Delirium? Oh, another Wasteland. All right, Furnace, Welder. Over to them. Volcanic. Bolt our Welder. We just can't get anything to stick. Furnace, Goblin Engineer. Let's see another answer to this. Daze. I'm reaching a breaking point here. I want an honest answer from the chat. Am I playing badly, in general, not just this game, overall? Am I playing badly? Am I getting unlucky? Or is this really just bullshit? Let me know. All right, Painter. Let's see another answer. All right, I guess I named Blue, right? Painter resolved. We now need to find a mana source for Grindstone. There have been a couple of points where it's pretty obvious you've been streaming for 14 hours, but it's mostly bullshit, honestly. A little bit of all three. Brainstorm our opponent. But the last few leagues is them always having it. Yeah, I feel like I've run into the opponent always having it multiple times a game, many, many games in a row. I don't know. The YouTube comments will let me know when this all goes up later. Volcanic Island. Bolt. All right, they did have another answer. What have we done? We've stringed like 5 cards back to back that would have killed them, and 5 cards back to back that have answered all of them. I don't know how you're supposed to play around most of the stuff. Like, it gets to a point where you just have to try to combo, and if they have an answer, you just lose, and they've had an answer literally every time. Hey, look! There's a Welder. Let's see this one also get answered. Force a Will. 6 in a row, boys. 6 in a row. Always has the answer. Every time. Alright, I'm done. Delver, who cares? Leyline, I guess. Leyline doesn't interfere with Grindstone, right? It doesn't matter. Yeah. What else? Fury can kill Darcy, can't kill Murktide. What colors were they even? I can't even remember. Did we see black or green from them? You do have Blast this time, though? Oh, I'm just so out of it. I don't even care. I would have had to blast them and then drawn a land or another mana source. I guess okay, yeah. So it was incorrect to not just blast there. I don't know. I've been streaming for 15 hours. Is that a good excuse or is it not? I'm going to cut Fury and... I don't know what else. Soul Guide Lantern? Yeah. All right, let's do that. It was a mental health decision not to blast there, to be honest. I mean, technically, if I'd blasted, then I could have drawn a land and killed them. Maybe. Who knows? All right, we've got the combo. We've got multiple blasts. I'll keep. Land, Grindstone, Underground Sea, back to us. All right, so I can wait, or I can just play Painter. I guess I'm just going to play Painter. Play Painter. I'm thinking about if they're going to play Snuff Out, but there's no way they do. They're Delver. So let's name Blue. All right, over to them. Brainstorm from our opponent. Why didn't they brainstorm with Delver with Painter on the stack to try to find Force or Daze? Do they just have a removal spell so it doesn't matter? Misty Rainforest, Bauble. You know, I haven't actually seen Painter on Moto before. Man, do cards look ugly with Painter out. Bauble Trigger. All right, Saga. If I try to go off right now and they have a removal spell, then tapping out for this is horrible. So I have triple blast in my hand. I think I can afford to wait at this point. So let's attack them. If they ever tap out, we can Grindstone them. Wasteland. So they're going to force us to do it now. I see. So they'll go Wasteland you, and then we'll have to activate it, and then they'll kill Painter. So I just don't take the bait. There's just no way they don't have a removal spell. Float, colorless. All right, well, it's upkeep. That fizzles. All right, land, combat, swing with Painter. Maybe I just try to blast their lands on upkeep. That could be good. All right, upkeep. Pyroblast your Volcanic. Floats blue in response. Blue-black. Shieldred's Edict. All right, counter that. Force a Will. All right, counter that. If they have literally 3 pieces of interaction for this, then okay. Days. At least they lose a land, right? Oh no, they picked it up from days. They don't even lose their land. All right, City of Traders, Fable, Hydroblast. Okay, guys, is this real? Am I dreaming? Like, surely this isn't actually happening, right? Like, have we just rolled Snake Eyes basically 10 times in a row? Ponder, yeah, whatever. Luckily, this is a dream. Yeah, how do they still have 4 cards? Yeah, basically, how have we just gone through all of that and our opponent has 4 more cards than us? Meltdown, kill our Great Furnace and our Grindstone, and they have Wasteland to waste our Sokens on. Cast Fable. Now let's see them fucking Force of Will this. Who cares at this point, right? All right, that resolved. Their deck has 15 copies of Days in Force of Will. Yeah, pretty much. So now they can Wasteland the Sokens on, and then any other land I play gets rid of City of Traders, or they can just hit City of Traders. Who knows? I can't attack with my Shaman into them anymore because they have a 3/3 Darcy. Wasteland the city. Sure. Yeah, well, we're definitely discarding that. Pitch Leyline of the Void. Draw a land. Who cares? Pass to them. DRC 17. Opponent still has 3 cards. When are we going to see Murktide? Let's just end the game, right? Just Murktide, 8/8. We lose. Yep, there it is. And we drew a land. I don't care anymore. You know, I really thought... So, Lord of the Rings was basically the last straw for Modern. I couldn't stand the format anymore. Pioneer I'd already given up on. I thought Legacy was like the last bastion of like good quality competitive gameplay, but now I see it's infected just like everything else. I don't know, let me tell you guys a story. Do you guys know the game Binding of Isaac? Let me bring it up. So Binding of Isaac is a top-down, isometric, basically twin-stick shooter, and it's a roguelike procedural game where you like run around in these levels and you get all kinds of different randomized items. And so there's 2 different versions of it because the original Binding of Isaac was programmed in Flash and it was like unstable, the game would crash, etc. So the original Binding of Isaac, I have 875 hours in it. And then the remake, which they redid in pixel art in like a better engine that wasn't crash proof, but it didn't crash as much. Rebirth, I have 1,536 hours in it, right? And the game, they kept adding on more and more content into the game, which at first was pretty cool. Like there were different levels, different enemies, different items. But eventually it started getting to the point where everything was like this horrible tumorous growth over everything in the game. And they would just add in more and more items that weren't interesting. It was just another item for the sake of having it. There's like 10 different variants of you get 5 bombs and the bombs work slightly differently. And it got to the point where the game wasn't fun anymore because just so much garbage had been added to the game that it didn't have that lean, cut down experience anymore. Just, yeah, diluting the loot pool, making it so that it's like every run was just totally random. They made the enemies, they increased the difficulty so they would design new content in the game based off of veteran players. So you would get to the point where it's like, oh, well, you're a veteran player, you're good at the game, so we were going to upgrade the enemy's health. So level 1, every single enemy just became this horrible tanky thing. It would take like 6 shots from your base attack to kill even one enemy in just the starting rooms. And the rooms are filled with enemies. And it got to the point where more and more and more garbage was in the game to the point where it just wasn't fun anymore. And I stopped playing it. I feel like Magic is now at kind of the same point. Northern Lion even quit playing it. Yeah, and he has like 1,000+ videos in Isaac. All right, what do we have? Triple Blast Opal and Fable the Mirror Breaker. This hand's not keepable. Mull. All right, this is fine. Keep, put back, Sokens on. Snow Island. All right, so I feel like it is probably best to get an Engineer out on turn 1. So let's go Land, Lotus Petal, sack this, play Engineer. Have you ever played No Man's Sky? They add new free updates constantly. It's really fun now. Force of Will, exiling Sauron's Ransom. All right, it's Demir controlled, mid-range, whatever. I've never played No Man's Sky. I wasn't that interested in the game to begin with, and after I saw how horrible it launched in, like the horrible state that it launched in, I wasn't interested in playing it. I understand that they have now gone and added a bunch of new stuff to the game, but it's just, it doesn't interest me. Baleful Strix for our opponents. So there's Sultai, whatever. All right, let's get out. Let's try to run Engineer out again. This one resolved, so let's just grab Grindstone and pass back to them. Yeah, it was rough at launch. It's Sony's fault. Sony dumped like $50 million in the company to get 1-year exclusivity. MH3 may very well get me to stop playing Modern and Paper. We'll see. How have you not stopped playing Modern and Paper now? What do they have right now that is stopping you, that is not stopping you from playing, that will be in MH3? So sack the Strix, I guess. No, they're just gonna, yeah, sack the Strix, kill the engineer. So it's just like soul tie value. All right, welder plus painter servant. So land, welder, painter servant. I think I still just name blue. All right, name blue. Over to them. I potentially do have the win on my turn, although I have 4 cards. There's no brewing anymore. Just jam the most expensive new broken S into piles. Yeah, I quit Modern entirely when the free elementals were printed. Is that a Lurin? I doubt it's a Lurin. I think it's just soul tie value. Well, Icefang Kodal, maybe it's a Lurin. I would be surprised, like they have both of the Strix cards in the deck. Maybe it is a Lurin. All right, we won. I literally made no decisions that game. It was just keep playing threats until they run out of answers for them. Oh, let's see. Fury's probably good in this matchup because they have a bunch of small creatures in Grist that they can kill. Leave all that there. What's not good here? Let's see. So they're a highly interactive soul tie deck if they're not just straight up a Lurin. If they are straight up a Lurin, then Ensnaring Bridge does nothing. I think it probably does nothing in general. And then I can cut one other card. I'm going to go with Soul Guide. I don't think they're an artifact deck. Or a graveyard deck, rather. All right, let's submit that. The only reason I still play Modern is because I have a few semi-competitive decks which get wins. If I need to spend hundreds on my decks to make them playable when MH3 comes out, I will not be playing anymore. All right, we've got Welder into Painter Servant, Pyroblast, but Double Karn is also here, and we don't have the mana for it. We're on the draw. We're also playing against the value Soul Tie deck that has a million pieces of interaction, so going down on cards is bad. I'll keep. I was playing not for the monetary reason, but for a similar reason, which is like, oh, you know, I hang out with people, play this, play Welder. Like, I hang out with people at the local game store. I go to F&M, cast Mox Opal. And then after I played the last 2 RCQs that I played at, I'm just like, didn't have any fun in them, regardless of whether I won or lost in any of the games. I had 0 fun. I'm like, why am I still playing this? Have you tried pre-modern or pure modern? No, but formats that are very niche like that, it's very difficult to actually play in person. You have to have a shop where people actually play that format. Bowmasters, kill Welder. All right. Well, there's Grindstone. So let's go land, painter. It instantly resolved. Name blue. Over to them. Do they just not have any interaction? Like, all right. I was talking to the owner of my LGS and he thinks there's no chance they ban Ring or Bowmasters. He thinks MH3 will just print things that are even worse. Opponent brainstorms. I think they will ban the Ring at some point, but not until at least next year. I could see pure modern taking over regular modern. If WotC won't print it in standard, it shouldn't be in modern. No, it won't. The formats only take over when they're supported or they're literally legacy. All right, play Grindstone with Pyroblast up, and then I can activate Grindstone next turn. All right, over to them. No attacks. Once again, though, I would really like to get another Mana Source so I can activate Grindstone with Blast open. They have a 4th land. All right, there's a Mana Source. So trigger the Saga, and then I'll try to do it on their upkeep. Opponent fetches. Maybe I respond to this. If they're fetching now, it could mean that they need interaction. Nah, it's fine. They fetch. If they fetch again, then I'll do it. All right, now I'll do it. Grindstone you. Abrupt Decay, and I can't counter it. Abrupt Decay, really? All right. Energy Flux? What? At the beginning of upkeep, all artifacts have pay to or sack them. All right, whatever. The only reason people stuck with Modern is it didn't rotate like Standard. Now, WotC is literally rotating the format with every direct-to-modern set they print. Yeah, but people also play it because they like doing broken bullshit, or because they just like their particular deck, or because their friends all play Modern, so they play Modern, or. Like, there's a million reasons. I've been playing Is It Breach, and it's been pretty fun. Most of the people that still play it at my LGS play off-meta stuff, or they play top-tier decks that are at least fun to play with. At least casual, friendly EDH will always be around. Don't have to deal with stacks if your group just agrees not to play it. Or cube, or draft. Surgical Extraction on Painter, sure. We can still beat that. I technically do have an Urza Saga in play that I can activate, so we're not out of this game yet. Opponent fetches. Underground Sea. 4 mana. 4. Force of Vigor. Hardcast. Targeting Saga and Opal. What was that I was just saying? What was that I was saying a second ago? All right, we're dead. I mean, technically we're not dead. All right, let's keep going. I was really hoping they'd prove my Lurin theory correct. Yeah, they're not a Lurin. They're just a value deck. 16. Back to us. Can't do anything. Back to them. Grist, which I can't counter. All right. Make an insect. Mill over Hydroblast. We're down to 14 rather. I can Lotus Petal Fable out, and then the Fable token can die, but at least I can have a loot, maybe? I don't know. Lotus Petal cast Fable. If this gets countered, I'm scooping. All right, Shaman token, over to them. Green, black, another Bowmaster. Abrupt Decay on the Fable. Well, that's basically it getting countered. All right, now they just grist, kill the token, and then we still have to draw more stuff. They're probably pretty susceptible to Magus of the Moon. I don't know. Cheese a win with this. Cut a Karn. I don't think I'm ever beating them with Shadow Spear. They have Bowmasters, so anything that draws cards is bad. Engineer survives Bowmasters. Welder doesn't. All right, cut a Welder. Maybe I'm supposed to cut Karn. Let's cut Welders. All right, run that. Game 3. Turn 1 Saga, turn 2 Ancient Tomb. All right. I can also pedal in the Welder on turn 1. I don't know how useful that is. I can also just play Karn on turn 2, maybe. All right, keep. Opponent mulls the 6. Mulls the 5. All right, maybe we're going to win this game. Maybe we can actually win a game. Pedal, Saga. I don't think I'm supposed to play Welder here. Let's just pass. Beseiju. Trigger the Saga. And there's Pyroblast. All right, so let's just go Ancient Tomb and start making Constructs. Ancient Tomb, back over to them. Do they not have a second land? All right, Construct. Well, what an anticlimactic game 3. And tap, trigger, make a Construct. Saga tutors up Mox Opal. Then let's go City of Traders. I could just run out Magus of the Moon here to like completely screw them. So go to combat, swing, Force of Vigor on both the Constructs. Did they like just draw it? No, because if they just drew it, why didn't they just force the Saga on upkeep before I tutored? Whatever. All right, kill both of those. And then that shuts off Opal. All right, so it's probably still correct to just cast Magus, right? I guess no. I can Iker Wellspring and then play Welder. I don't know. All right, let's just play Magus. Over to them. They don't have any more lands anyway. All right. Well, here's another city. Here's Iker Wellspring. Draw. Fury. I still don't have more artifacts, right? Yeah, so it's attack with Magus. Basic Island. Ponder. Chooses not to shuffle. Lotus Petal. Combat. Swing here. So now I have Metalcraft online, so I can play Karn and start stripping their lands. Karn, minus. Use the ability. I have 5 mana, so let's just grab Liquimetal. Yeah, grab Liquimetal. Back over to them. So the one match we're going to win with this deck is the one match where our opponent mulled the 5 and had 1 land. Brainstorm. Do I just counter this? I think I just counter this. All right, counter your Brainstorm. All right, we won. Round 5. I don't know. I feel like I want to be a more positive person who like makes these matches fun to watch, but at the same time I feel like I'm just naturally negative, so maybe I should just lean into that and be the cynical asshole I am at heart. This hand's not keepable at all, so let's mull this. All right, I guess this is fine. What am I throwing away? Not a land, one of the 2 Welders, maybe Shadow Spear. Shadow Spear is like the worst actual, yeah, let's throw Shadow Spear away. Land, Welder, Polluted Delta, fetch, Underground Sea, Delver. All right. Grixis Delver or Dimir Delver, one of those. Let's get Saga out. Let's get Painter Servant out. Play Painter Servant. Daze, sure. Delver, no flip. Underground Sea. Thought sees us. Takes the other Welder, not Fable. Attacks with Delver. I don't think I'm supposed to block this. I don't know. Maybe I am supposed to block this. I feel like maybe I can just win off Saga. Now let's not block. All right, Saga goes up to 2. And then we'll play Furnace. And then I'm just going to attack them with the Welder. They go to 16, and then we just have a Construct, and then we'll make another Construct. It's hard to commentate on a game when nothing resolves for 6 turns in a row. Ponder. Also, the Delver didn't flip again. No Shuffle. Misty Rainforest. Fetch. Volcanic Island. All right. 100% it's Grixis Delver. Darcy. All right. That's not going to work out the way you think it is. So make a 2/2. Block. I guess they didn't realize Great Furnace is an artifact. Main phase. Make another Construct. And then at this point, let's tutor Opal. I could tutor Grindstone, but then I'm still 1 mana off of actually using it. I could also grab Soul Guide Lantern and eat their days and take them off Delirium. Now I just need mana for next turn. Let's grab Opal. All right, go to combat. Swing, and then back over to them. Darcy attacks. We go to 16. Wasteland. Well, if you're going to Wasteland that anyway, then I'm just going to weld it now. So weld this, weld up the Painter. If they're going to Wasteland, they should do it in upkeep so that I don't get 2 activations. Yeah, all right, we win. So it's Delver, Fury, and is Leyline good? They have Darcy, they probably have Murktide, so it's probably good. And then what's bad? Just anything, like the combo is actually kind of bad. They just always have interaction, right? Ensnaring Bridge can maybe beat them, but yeah, maybe it can beat them. So what does that leave me with? Maybe I'm just not supposed to have the combo in this matchup. It feels terrible. It feels like you can never go off with it. So I should probably still have one of each. And then this is a lot of blasts to have, but they're probably still relevant. They kill Murktide, they kill, what, counterspells, cantrips, Delver. What's the cut? I feel like resolving expensive things against Daze and Wasteland is tough, but then again, I'm still running Fury anyway. How about temporary mana? Temporary mana can go. All right, submit that. Double Leyline of the Void with these. All right, keep. Reveal both the ley lines. Volcanic Island. Plays Delver. Drew another Karn. All right, Furnace Welder. It resolves. Their turn. Delver trigger. Flips over, reveals Cast into the Fire, which they can actually use to just kill our land. All right, they're just not going to do that. I would have immediately snap killed Great Furnace with that. So they play another Delver. All right, Ancient Tomb is at least not Fable, or not City. So play Fable. Resolve Fable, apparently. I'm going to attack them with Welder. Swing. I don't have anything to weld anyway, and they're not going to block. And even if they do block, I'm fine trading for a Delver. New Delver trigger. Doesn't flip. Another land. Petty Theft the Goblin Shaman. Okay, take 4 down to 11. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Definitely welding, or definitely discarding. So I'm trying to think. I probably need to try to get Ensnaring Bridge, right? So I have, if I play City of Traders, that's 5 mana, and if I discard the Furnace, it's 6 with the Welder, which is 1 short of City, or of Ensnaring Bridge. I'm also taking a lot between Ancient Tomb and these Delvers. I'm not going to have the time to deploy 2 Karns, so I should definitely discard a Karn, and then I should just discard Great Furnace. All right, another Fable and Red Blast. All right, so I can Red Blast this to gain some time. City of Traders, Karn. All right, and we know they have Cast into the Fire. All right, they have Cast into the Fire. Duh, so I can't Ensnaring Bridge here. I guess I could Ring and Ring Fog for the turn, right? Minus, use the ability. Actually, no, because I can weld it, right? So if they try to kill it, I just weld it, and then... But that gives them 1 turn to still kill us. All right, let's grab Ensnaring Bridge, and then pass to them. Trigger Delver, reveals Surgical Extraction. All right, combat. Are they both hitting me, or is one hitting Karn? They're both hitting me. All right, blast one. All right, successfully blasted. We go to 6. Misty Rainforest. So Reflection flips over now. Ooh, Pyroblast's a great draw. All right. So I want a bridge, and then they'll go, like, cast it, and then I weld it. But then they have Surgical in there to get it out of our graveyard, although then I have Karn to get it back. So what else do I grab right now? I can grab Lotus Petal just to make some more mana, or... If I Lattice, they just float mana in response and cast into the fire and just get rid of it. I also need to be careful about not taking damage from this Ancient Tomb, right? So I think I minus and grab Lotus Petal, play the Petal, and then I've got this plus this with Pyroblast open to kill this thing, plus Welding, plus... So what mana do I have right now? I go... tap this, play Ensnaring Bridge. I can weld the Furnace and the other Furnace to play Pyroblast. Now, I just want to, yeah, let's just grab a Lotus Petal. So minus, grab Lotus Petal, cast Lotus Petal, and then we'll cast Ensnaring Bridge. And then I just pass here. I could also play Fable and then weld the Furnace and Pyroblast them, but all right, end of turn. Will they do anything? Fetches with Flooded Strand, grabs a land. They're going to just flash in Brazen Borrower, right? I may as well kill... Insectile Aberration, right? All right, let's Pyroblast this, or this one. Kill that, pop Lotus Petal. Alrighty then. So it's back over to them, and if they want to attack, they've got to use Cast into the Fire. Then we weld, they attack, and then if I tried to weld back, then they just Surgical the bridge, which is a problem. Cast Ponder. They chose not to shuffle. Cast into the Fire. All right, so weld this one and Great Furnace. Surgical Extraction on Great Furnace. Okay. It still has 2 targets. I still sack the bridge. Or is it, if both targets are still legal as it resolves? Never mind. Welder's worded a very peculiar way. So we actually are just dead to this Brazen Borrower, right? 2 hits and we lose. Oh, and they have Wasteland. I guess I should have played Fable last turn. I could have. We're at 3. Opponent fetches. Grabs Volcanic. Meltdown. Get rid of our lands. And they get to Wasteland us. Cool. Totally cool. All the answers. All right, well, we just die, right? All right, they have too many threats that don't rely on the graveyard, so Leyline out. Combo stuff back in, I guess. Whoops, not 2 of these. 1 of these, 2 Painters. All right, run this. Let's see. Turn 2 Karn. Pretty interesting. I'll keep. Lotus Petal, Ancient Tomb, go. Bauble. Crack the Bauble. Let's turn 2 Karn with Pyroblast up, unless they have Wasteland, because of course they always have Wasteland. Should there be like a law? If your opponent if you play a Soul Land, if you play a Soul Land or Urza Saga, your opponent will have a Wasteland for it. Alright, Furnace, back to them. Volcanic. Alright, back to us. We just get absolutely annihilated by Meltdown, but what can you do? Land, go. Oh, another Wasteland. Alright, Float a Red. Wasteland resolves. That goes away. Alright, Fizzle this mana. I really don't want to play City of Traders here. And I don't want to jam Karn into a potential counterspell, especially a Daze, so I guess I just keep waiting. Try to find more lands. Bauble. Oh, another Wasteland. Cool, so we just can't do anything, actually. Cool. Alright, that fizzles. So now we have to draw multiple lands back to back in order to do anything this game. Well, we didn't draw a land. Pass to them. Actually, do I just jam Fable out here? Like, I'm just losing by not doing anything. Alright, Fable. Alright, let's see the Daze or the Force of Will. Let's see it. Come on, show it to me. Brainstorm. Right, let's see it. Come on. It's gonna happen. I'm waiting for it. Where is it? There's the Daze. Alright. Plays Tarn. Fetches with Tarn. Thoughtseize. Sure, why not? Who cares? They took Karn. Alright. Urza Saga, and if I play it, it kills the City of Traders. What am I even getting with it? I'm playing like Ensnaring Bridge here, and then the Saga goes up to 2. Float, Saga, trigger. Play Ensnaring Bridge. I apologize to anyone who's watching this game on YouTube. What? Bitter Blossom. Okay. Saga tick up. Here's another Saga. Back over to you. Ponder. Delver. I feel like I've bled from the eyes far less today than I should have. Alright, well, we drew a Fury. We can kill both of these, I guess. Float here. So put these on the stack. Float here. What am I even getting? Opal, which I can't activate. Soul Guide Lantern to draw a card and try to find more lands. I have no clue. What in the world am I grabbing? I could also Lotus Petal and make a Karnstruct, although who cares about doing that? I have an Ensnaring Bridge in play anyway. Opal's the most persistent mana source, although I don't have it yet. Alright, let's just grab Opal. Do I wait? If I wait, I get to kill the second Bitter Blossom token and Delver. Alright, let's wait. Bitter Blossom trigger, Delver trigger. No reveal on Delver. Plays a land. Take 2, go to 18. 4 cards, they didn't play anything. Fable the Mirror Break. Alright, float, fetch. I don't know what I'm fetching. I guess Soul Guide. Maybe Lotus Petal. If I grab Lotus Petal here, I can cast Fable the Mirror Breaker, although I guess that's my only shot, that they don't have a counterspell for that, right? Grab Lotus Petal. Fury, exiling Pyroblast. Triggers, target here, here, and here. Alright, red, cast Fable. This one and this one. Opponent has Daze. Alright, back over to them. Bitter Blossom. Well, the joke's on them. They'll die in 15 turns. Brainstorm. Delver. Land. We can't even play anything. Our bridge doesn't even stop their creatures from hitting us. Technically have to stay in it. What if I draw a mountain? Fetches a volcanic island. Bitter Blossom Delver trigger. Take 2. Go to 16. Why in the world does Moto ask you to block if you have no creatures? Drawing. Alright, we drew a red source. Great Furnace. I guess I'll stop them on their upkeep and blast the Delver. Trigger. Resolve Blossom. Resolve Delver. Reveal Surgical Extraction. Alright, red blast the Delver. Alright, Delver's dead. So I know they have Surgical and they have 4 other cards I don't know what they are. From 16 down to 14. Oh, I guess I could have tapped this Opal for a Welder last turn. Fury. What would I even weld? Surgical Extraction on Karn. Sure. I don't think I'd weld anything from here, right? I think I just evoke Fury and kill all these fairies. Or kill them next turn, maybe. Surgical Extraction on Fury. Oh, they have another Surgical Extraction. Well, there goes Fury. So I guess I am playing Welder. Alright, play Welder. Over to them. Bitter Blossom. Always yield to this. Lightning Bolt the Welder. Sure. Alright, I'm just going to cast Pyroblast so I have no cards left in my hand. And then if they don't find an answer to this bridge in 7 turns, they lose. Oh, another Pyroblast. Alright, back to them. Bitter Blossom. Goes 6. Playing a blue card. Playing a blue card. Playing a blue card. Oh no, Meltdown. They're going to Meltdown and kill our whole board, right? Yep, alright, we lose. 1 and 4 with Painter. At least it's over. Yeah. Delete Painter. High Tide or Painter worse? High Tide's worse. Alright, these are the decks left on the wheel. I don't even know at this point. What am I doing anymore? What's the meaning of life? Are we even alive? I'm streaming for 16 and a half hours. All right.